So even for these big pharmaceutical companies, the price of the shares is important.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Hemogenics Pharmaceuticals CEO, Dr. Vladislav Sandler, as well as Non-Executive Director Peter Redmond. Vladik, Peter, very good to speak with you today. Peter, I'm going to start with you. You announced last Friday an EGM to seek approval for two quite major changes. What are the reasons for these changes?
Okay, well, the reasons are twofold, really. One is that we're a company that has depended to date on largely on private client support, and we've reached a pivotal stage in our development at the moment. And I think it's no secret that though we're able to go forward now, we're going to be requiring additional capital going forward. We have, over the past year and in earlier fundraisers, spoken to institutions in this country, and they've had two objections, really. And one was that we're not really at a sufficiently advanced stage in development for them, and the other was that they don't like penny stocks. We've also spoken more recently to overseas investors who, again, well, they like the fact that we are now going into clinical trials, but they don't like, and indeed in many cases they're not permitted to invest in penny stocks. So we decided to do a consolidation and to get to what some people might think is a more serious share price than 1.1p. The other reason really is that in spite of the good news that's come in the past few months, we have our share prices really not reacted as we might have expected to it, and we're in the position where when we do decide to raise money, our minimum price is a penny. We no desire to raise money at a penny. We're shareholders like the rest, and of course we want to see the share price as high as possible, and money raised at rising prices as the development proceeds. But we don't think that it's appropriate that we be stymied. If the price is if the par value is a penny, that's the cheapest at which we can raise money. So at the same time as consolidating, we've changed the par value, and that will give us extra flexibility. But as I say, I want to emphasize that we don't want to and don't intend to raise money below a penny, at least unless in extremis, and that's not where we are at the moment.
Peter, the reason for making these changes at the current time?
Well, we're talking to larger investors currently, and although we're not ready to announce or get to that point, the point of an investment at the moment, we found that they really need to see the higher share price to take us seriously, and we decided that well, getting to the point where we can go into clinical trials is a suitable point to do that, to give them the opportunity to look at us. They're not going to waste their time looking at stocks priced at a penny or a penny halfpenny, and they're not interested in, well, we'll consolidate when we need to. So we're consolidating now.
Vladik, you also made a significant announcement about progress towards clinical trials for your lead product, HemoCAR-T. What's the importance of that announcement?
In order to open clinical trials, we have to basically satisfy several requirements of the hospital where we will conduct clinical trials. And there are two major requirements there. One is scientific review committee. That's the committee that is made of physicians and scientists inside the cancer center that we're dealing with. So we successfully passed that stage. We went through scientific review committee. We satisfied and answered all their questions and comments. And the second part of the process is IRB, or Internal Review Board of the cancer center, and eventually site initiation visit. So Internal Review Board is made of members of the hospital and members of the community. And the major purpose of IRB is to ensure that the patients that will participate in this clinical trial are safe. So we went through the IRB. Again, we answered all their questions, and we finally got an official letter that IRB approved our clinical trial. This is a big deal. This is almost as big as getting an approval from the FDA to open the clinical trials. So what's left is site initiation visit, which is basically a committee, a joint meeting of the sponsors, Hemagenics Pharmaceuticals, our CRO, Prevail, which is Prevail InfoWorks, and the team from the hospital that will actually conduct clinical trials. So we went through the site initiation visit successfully on Friday last week, and now we are waiting for an official letter that will signify the official opening of our clinical trials. The moment we get this letter, we will start patient recruitment, and everything will speed up tremendously. We are actually there. And what I would like to also say is that people at the cancer center, and I'm purposefully not saying the name of this center because I'm not allowed right now. We signed a contract with this center, and the contract says that without explicit permission, written permission of the center, we cannot use their name anywhere. So, but most people know what center I'm talking about. So this center is ready to recruit patients, and actually they want to recruit patients, and they're trying to speed up everything because they say that there are too many people who need the treatment.
What's the next steps, and at what point can we expect clinical trials to commence? Are you able to give us a timeline?
I cannot give you a precise timeline, but it is truly imminent because the moment we get the letter, the hospital will start patient recruitment. It is very difficult to say if it's going to take a week or 3 weeks. We need to recruit patients that, first of all, obviously need this treatment, and second, patients that would give us as a sponsor the best chance to demonstrate that our CAR T works and is a good product candidate.
Any further comments from either of you?
Well, I just really want to say that I think the shareholders need to know that, and most of them probably do, that we've really reached a vital point, reached the most important milestone that we've been waiting for. Obviously, the patients going into trial is crucial too, but that will happen. And as far as the reorganization is concerned, we're surprised by the degree of confusion and dissent over it, but I think we feel it's necessary to give us the best chance to access quality funds. We're grateful for our private shareholder support, but going forward, we need to be able to recruit quality funds to get this product through trials and the other projects that we have on the books back into motion. So that's our motivation.
Vladek, anything else from you?
Yes, I actually agree with what Peter said, but I would like to add something. We are obviously targeting institutional, high quality investors, but there is another side of the story. We are talking to large pharmaceutical companies that are interested in our CAR T program. For them, it is important to get clinical data before they can possibly decide what to do about, if they want to do joint venture or invest into the company. So even for these big pharmaceutical companies, the price of the shares is important. Again, as larger institutional investors, they stay away from having, on their books, penny stocks. So from this point of view, we must consolidate to have the best chance to get the best support we can possibly get.
Vladek, Peter, thank you very much for your time today. I hope you'll keep us posted on developments on both of those fronts. That's Hemogenics Pharmaceutical CEO, Dr. Vladislav Sandler, and also non-executive director, Peter Redmond.